Hello, adventurers. My name's Tyler.
And I'm Richard.
On today's episode, we're playing The Bite by Dan Enders. Welcome to True Strike.
Howdy, folks, and welcome back to the show. Once again, we are doing something that I have no idea what it is.
It makes it so easy for you, though.
I know, right? He's like, you have to do absolutely no prep this episode, and I'm like, bet.
You had all the notes for the Daggerheart episode, like 3 weeks ago. All these recorded at once, 4 episodes in one day.
Woo.
I'm pudding.
So yeah, I don't know what this is, other than it's called The Bite. He has a 1 sheet of paper and a tiny stack of cards.
Yeah, so I figured since I was going out of town and we needed to get all these episodes in the chamber, that I would find something fun for us to play. If you were listening to us last year in October, we did Spooky Month, where every week we played a one-on-one game with each other, where GM and player. This week I was thinking, hey, I want to do that again, so this will be fun. So I found a 2-player game. There's no GM. We bar both players.
Okay.
And there's effectively no winning and no losing. It is storytelling between friends. And I want to check it out and try it, and it sounds fun. I'll introduce it after I kind of explain some of the base rules to you, okay?
Sure.
So we've got these cards. This is all print and play, thanks to Dan Enders over on Drive-Thru or RPG and stuff. You can find it, check it out, buy the game, play it yourself, order from them, or print it yourself. So, setup. We're going to place the gun card on the table. The gun card is, you must make a decision. Kill my companion, kill myself, or destroy the gun. Blah. That will make sense in a minute.
Okay.
All right. We also have an X card. This, if one of us is getting into some storytelling stuff that's a little too deep, too personal, just too graphic, anything, touch the card, other place, skip it, move along.
It's your standard censorship card, basically,
yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yep. We can both see and reach both these cards, correct?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. The Bite is a storytelling game about the decision to kill your companion who may or may not be infected by a zombie. Both players do not want to die, but both know that leaving a bite victim alive will result in death. To stall for time before making the dreaded decision, the 2 players will share stories about themselves. Neither me nor Richard have made characters going into this. I've made a point not to actually read the prompt cards and stuff like that. Other than me having read through the rules once and knowing the game I got, I am just as blind to the actual prompts as he is. So, setup. We place the gun, place the X card. Now, this is a bite card. The bite card reads, you have been bitten. You do not want to die. I'm going to take that card. I'm going to hide it right here because the printer we used, varying shades of gray. Pick 2 cards.
Any 2 cards?
Doesn't matter. Any 2 cards. Okay. Give me those cards. I'm shuffling these cards. Now, you are going to pick one of these cards.
Okay.
That one. These 2 are moving to the other side of the table.
Okay.
This card, don't look at it.
Look at it. Okay.
Is going back to the deck.
Sure.
What I've just ensured is that 2 of the cards that were just regular conversation prompts were drawn out and mixed in with a bite card, essentially leaving a 1 in 3 chance that the bite was shuffled back into the deck.
Okay.
We do not know that the bite is here, so we do not know that one of us was bitten. The bite could be right there on the table still.
Okay.
The bite could be in this deck right now. I'm going to, and don't flip them over yet, deal out 4 cards each. These are our storytelling prompts. Okay. One player is going to select a conversation card. We will be able to look at all of our cards. So you will know immediately whether you were bitten or not.
Okay, so we're going to
Don't
know
tell me.
real quick. Yeah.
You're going to look at all of your cards. If you do have the bite, it's going to be the last card you play. If I have the bite, it'll be the last card I play. There is a chance neither of us have the bite.
Yeah.
And in that case, it's right over there on the table. And we are left to wonder if the other
so
card
those cards aren't in the game.
Those cards will not be a part of this game.
Okay.
Yep. Basically, one of us will decide to go first. We'll play a prompt. And we'll start up a discussion about this card. We can have a back and forth. And when that kind of naturally like resolves, the next player will play their prompt. And we'll just go back and forth until we get down to our last card. At any point, one of us can be like, screw this, grab the gun. They can shoot yourself, shoot your teammate, or destroy the gun. Remember, you don't want to die. It's the whole theme of this game. If that happens before the end, before the last card, the game ends there. And it resolves based on whether someone has been bitten or not. If you get down to the last card, you both have to basically do like a 3-2-1 and then either don't do anything, which means you're going to play your last card, or 3-2-1, grab the gun. If you're going to grab the gun, you're shooting your teammate. So if it's 3-2-1 and we both reach for the gun, whoever pulls it away from the other person grabs the gun, murders their companion. If neither of you grab the gun, you both play down your final card. You both do your prompts, and then the story ends. If you both lay down the card and one of you has the bite, the other person will read their prompt, you'll have your final discussion, and then the story will end. That's it. That's the game.
Okay.
So we've shuffled potentially the bite in.
Potentially a bite.
The bite may be on the table.
Yeah.
In fact, the odds are in the favor that they're on the table. 33% chance it's in the deck.
Okay.
That's it. That's the bite.
So these prompts are story prompts. So like we
to
choose
look these
a
over.
card.
And that's the thing, is you can play a prompt and you don't actually have to stick to it. You could totally go off the rails.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a prompt.
But it's a
to
prompt,
get discussion going.
To get discussion
And you're going to
going.
build a character
based on those prompts.
Based on the prompts
Okay.
and just how you feel. Like I said, you can go completely off the rails and ignore the prompt for the most part. If you so choose.
Sure.
But you still have to play a prompt for your turn when that happens. So, grab your deck. And then we look.
Poker hand. Poker hand. Poker hand.
Right.
Bum, 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 bum.
And then
So, am I putting these in order now, based on like what
You
I
just
want,
pick a
or
card.
just pick a card?
because it could naturally
'cause
make
it can
sense to flow
naturally
into
go.
one.
Okay.
So yeah, you can go ahead and take a second. You can go and look over your things. Okay. And for audio listeners, you're basically going to enjoy this as much as video listeners. Hello, video. We appreciate you.
Hello.
You're going to see us talking.
Yes.
Which I
Yeah.
guess is just every week.
Looking at cards and talking.
Looking at cards and talking about cards. And then we just... let me set the scene.
Okay. I was about to ask you for more details if there were any.
You slam the door closed, your partner barely making it through behind you. You can still feel their hands grabbing at their clothes. Hear the moans echoing through the halls. The occasional thumping at the door reminds you that you are still trapped even when you've run away. You won't sleep tonight. Heck, you haven't really slept in days. But you can still try to ignore it for now. As you settle in with your companion, locked away safely in this small room, the doubts begin to enter your thoughts. What if they've been bitten? We sit here, alone, in this dimly lit shed. Brightly lit shed.
Moaning zombies outside.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're each going to pick a card, and we're going to play it down.
You're only doing one at a time, though. So basically, just whoever lays one first starts off. And then the other
so
one
it's
goes.
not even at the same time.
When we get to the
Okay.
final card, that's where you're going to have that 3, 2, 1 to see if anyone grabs the gun.
Yeah.
If you do, it resolves.
Okay.
If not, we both just sit here looking at each other and then play our last card.
Okay.
Oh.
So I played down a conversation card.
Mm-hmm.
It says, why did you save your current companion, which would be you, right? And how many have you left behind? So yes, I did save you. So this was deep in the city, not like out in the rural area. This was like downtown kind of a situation. Mm-hmm. I saw you basically getting overwhelmed. There was a lot, and you were getting overwhelmed not because of your lack of skill, but because of the way the city is laid out and the blocks and all the wreckage, like the cars wrecked, the government blocks that were put down during the first part of the infection. You were basically cornered, and you didn't see that there was an alley that you could have taken. But that's where I was, and that's where I came into play. Was like I came out and showed you that alley, and saved you. The reason why I did save you is because you were holding out against a large number of them. Like you were holding your own, and it was of no fault of your skill level as to why you were about to be overwhelmed. It was just because you didn't understand the environment. So I saved you because of the fact that you were holding your own against this horde, and I thought that was valuable. And the second part here is, how many have you left behind? Like, how many times have I seen this, and how many people have I left behind? It's dozens.
And I'm gonna go ahead and start tweaking this a little bit into the direction that I see this game actually evolving. I'm still surprised you saved me back then, especially knowing how many you had to leave behind. You could have done better on your own, honestly. I think so. I really appreciate it, but I still wonder to this day if you could have made it farther without me. I know you said I was useful, and you thought I had good skills, but I mean, look at us now. Just trapped here. The first person I knew that died after the outbreak was my little brother. I never told you this, but Jimmy was a good kid. He loved tortoises and other reptiles, and he just wanted to start up a farm one day down in Florida. I always told him he was crazy, Those things, they could bite you, just take your life in your sleep, right? I was so worried about getting bit by a snake or something, and look at it now. Look at us, like, there's things out there. What are we even doing? I was so rude to him. And I crushed his dreams. I could have been supportive, at least while he was here. But I wasn't. I was terrible. I'm so sorry, Jimmy. Did you have anyone like that?
I've always been on my own, and sometimes I don't even know how long I've been running. Has it been 5 years? Has it been 10 years?
My God, Jimmy would have been 12 by now. I think you're right.
I try and count the years that have passed in the people that I've lost, which is almost why it feels like it's been so long, because there have been dozens.
So many.
Has it been one a year, two a year? It's so hard to track time when all you're doing is just trying to survive.
It's just crazy. Like, it used to be so easy. You'd go to work Monday through Friday, go in at 8, off at 5. It was awful. We complained about it all the time. And just to think about it, like time passed day in, day out. It's like it flew by, but it stood still. And then now you're right. Like, how long has it been when you can't just look at a calendar or your phone just to track it all? You know, I had a really good friend when all this started. Steven helped me get through a lot after Jimmy's death. He was always there for me. You always tell me, told me I could hold my own. All that came from Steven. That man could run. He could shoot. He could fight. And the only reason I'm still here now is because he thought he could draw away a group of runners and I could go the other way and he'd catch back up. But when I got around the bend, there was already basically nothing left of him. And just seeing what was left of his face, man, I just ran. I ran so fast. I miss him. I miss both of them so much. I don't know what to do. It's just so hard going on.
I've had to kill people that I don't think were bitten. Some
I get it.
That I did think were bitten. Some that I knew were bitten. I don't know if you've ever had to kill someone that wasn't infected. But
No,
I've had to.
I haven't. I'm sorry. I don't even know if I could. I've thought about it.
I think everybody's capable on some level. But I had to. Because it was the only way to survive.
Were you scared?
Every day. I still am. But sometimes you have to make that choice, even if you're scared.
I just don't want to die.
Nobody wants to die. But I think there's something worse.
What's worse than death, man?
It's outside that door.
You know, before the outbreak, I was a podcaster. I thought, what if, they say do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life, right? What they don't tell you is the hours away from your family you spend just recording and editing and uploading. And if you want traction, you've got to market yourself. And I don't have anything good. I don't have any qualities I want to market. There's nothing there. I don't even know why I tried, but I just wanted it to work out so bad. Wonder where I would have been if I had just traveled the world or joined the military, really made something of myself. Went to college. Trapped in a shed. Who'd have thunk it? And now we have our impasse of the final choice. 3, 2, 1, and we either reach for the gun or we live with the fact that we didn't reach for the gun. You ready?
So is it a 3, 2, 1, go?
3, 2, 1, go.
Or we hold on to the card.
Or we hold on, hoping our companion was not bitten. And then we 3, 2, 1, play our card at the same time. If one of us was bitten, the one that wasn't role plays their moment. And we enjoy that conversation. If neither of us is bitten, we play out our cards and we just fade to black. You ready?
I think so.
3, 2, 1. Yeah. All right.
So for our audio listeners, I did grab the gun.
He did. I'd be a liar if I said I didn't think about it.
And I wasn't contested.
And I changed my mind at the last moment. And I decided not
the gun?
To not grab the gun. Very last. 2 cards ago was going to grab the gun at the end and then changed my mind. So, you've got the gun. We're going to play our last cards.
Last cards.
You know, my family, they didn't have a lot of money. They did what they could, though. They were good folk. My dad wasn't around much my teenage years, but I still think he tried in his own way. What about yours?
I was with my family when all this went down. And I'd like to say that we all got out. But if you look around, you'll see it's still just me running.
You've made a lot of hard calls over these years, haven't you? I can see it in your eyes. You've done whatever it takes to survive. Can I ask you a hard question? Did you have to kill any of your family?
I'd be lying if I said no. But it's not something I'm proud of.
Insane. I'm dead.
And Tyler's dead.
And not a zombie.
And not a zombie, no.
You murderer!
I
had faith.
Legitimately thought that you were bitten. Like, I 100% thought that you were bitten at about card 2.
I mean, to be fair, card 2, I was 100% convinced you were bitten. Totally. Especially when you started talking about having to make tough calls and you kill people you've killed and stuff like that. And then we got to the 3rd card and about to draw, decide if we're picking the gun or not. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to put my faith in the fact that he's okay. He's a survivor. He's all right. And we're going to make it out of this together. I'm not going to grab the gun. And you shot me.
So, my conversation card, have you ever killed someone who was not infected? I chose to play that one when I did because of the context of that part of the conversation.
Yeah.
And I was sure that card was going to tell me whether or not you were bitten. And that was like my confirmation card at the end that you had been bitten. That was like when I had like sealed it.
That's
like,
so funny.
I had started thinking about it. And then once we had that conversation, once we started down that avenue, that's when I was convinced that you had been bitten at that point.
That was the card that convinced me you had been bitten. Because you were...
We both had interpretations of that card.
You were so like, have you ever had to kill somebody, you know, that wasn't bitten? And I'm like, frick, he's been bitten. Dang.
I was wondering how it was going to affect your decision. I thought you were going to grab the gun. That's why I drew so fast. Because I was all like,
I was very sure you had been bitten until the very end. And I had that glimmer of hope that maybe you weren't, you know? And I was like, you know, I'm going to trust in this man. He's a survivor. He's been through enough. We're going to stick this out together.
This is one of those very unique experiences.
A la Alice.
Yeah, that kind of follows the same. It's not that. It's definitely not Alice.
No. It's also 15 minutes too. I mean,
yes, but
this game needs like 30 cards, right? Like, and then it could have some replay value and everything else. But
no, I think it's like it's one of those things where it's like calling it a game almost feels like a disservice. Right? Because is it a game? Technically, there are mechanics, there's cards, there's rules to it, right?
I did lose. No.
Did you lose?
I'm dead.
I mean, somebody lost their life. But no, it's more of an experience.
It's true, 100%.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
It's an experience. Is there a lot of replay value here? I don't think so.
I don't think so
because once you have like this, I mean, like the only way that you'd be able to replay this would be like if we had new cards.
That's where I wish there was like 30 cards or 50 cards or something.
And then you choose a very set number of cards.
But that's where, remember how earlier I was like, you don't actually have to stick to what the card says?
Yeah, I guess
very specifically is like, you have to play the card. I could play this card, ignore the prompt entirely, and just say something.
Yeah.
And then we just still go back and forth, like filling out our characters as we go.
As you see fit, essentially. Yeah.
It all really comes down to a 1 of 3 chance of a Russian roulette.
Yeah.
Is where it's interesting. Since neither of us had the bite, though, we did not have the perspective of someone that was bitten, trying not to die. Because if you read the bite card specifically, you have been bitten. You do not want to die.
Yeah, and that's interesting because, like...
So you can't self-sacrifice.
Yeah, you can't self-sacrifice. Yeah, because of that. Yeah. And I think it's an interesting thing that I didn't even consider because I didn't have the bite card. Right. So I think
me neither.
That's what I'm wondering. If you have the bite card, how would it affect your conversation? How would it affect your storytelling?
Right.
Because like I think we both equally had moments where we were talking about in our stories where we were not outwardly saying like, I don't want to die, don't kill me.
Yeah.
As much as we were saying like, we've been doing this for a long time, and not outwardly saying that we don't want to die, but implying that we don't want to die and that we're still going to be moving forward.
Right.
And I think that's where I kind of got thrown off by you a little bit, was because at one point in the conversation, you sounded like you had given up.
It's just hard.
And I was all like,
because I had 2 prompts in a row.
Is this a person who's giving up because they know that they've been bitten?
So my 4 prompts set me up for this, like, this interesting, like, just spiral, right? because it's just like, who was the first person you knew that died after the outbreak? Followed by, when was the last time you were truly moved by the death of a companion? Followed by, what was your family like?
Yeah,
and
this is interesting.
Who were you before the outbreak? So it's this whole like, there's no up.
Yeah, it's interesting because when you point that out and you look at my cards, my conversations were very different than yours because of my questions. The one show, the question that I saved till the end, my conversation piece, was who were you with when the outbreak hit and where are they now, right? So that part right there, so that one is the only one that I have that really is talking about my personal things, like as far as like people that I've lost.
Yeah, all of mine is personal.
Where the rest of these are more about like, how long have you been doing this?
Yeah.
And how many people have fallen because of it. Right. So it's like my character was built very differently than yours.
Which, I mean, hey, that's just our characters in general, right? Then.
Yeah.
Because mine's just more emotionally like, I'm spiraling in this situation. We're trapped. I don't want to die.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like caught up in these like facts, almost like these much more like to the numbers, like, okay, we're doing this. This is what happened here. Well, you know what I mean? Instead of just sitting on the past because your brother died. Like,
yeah. Interesting. Yeah. It's weird how the conversations build your character. And it'd be interesting because I guess this is a game that really, once you know the rules of it, you don't need any of this.
No. This is just a timer.
You need,
at that point.
Yeah, you would need playing cards, right? So
sure, you could totally do it playing cards.
8 playing cards, you know. For,
the Joker means you're bitten.
Yeah, exactly. If you had like a set of cards and you were in like an airport, you could totally play this game without these conversation beats, as long as you're a strong role player and as long as you're willing to come up with a story, you know, like on the fly, right? Yeah. Because you could just, you know, deal some cards out and be like, okay, if you got the Joker, that's your bite card. And
so,
you know,
so 9, whatever, 10 would be your bite.
Yeah. Yep.
And then
and then everything else could just be cards.
Yep.
It doesn't really matter what they are.
The prompts are cool, especially because first time running through it.
I think
it shows you how to go.
Yeah.
And I think that's your replay value.
Yes, that's what I'm getting at. I think your replay value in this game is the ability to then take away these conversations and just do it how you need to do it.
Yeah.
Like however you feel like you want to do it in that given thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it could change drastically just based on like, I mean, it could be time period at which 100%. This happens.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my goodness, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Setting this in like medieval ages or like.
Exactly. You could like legitimately set this in like the 50s if you wanted to, or medieval times, or
is it a zombie bite? Is it Cthulhian like?
Yeah.
We're just being wiped out by forces we can't see, like, or understand.
Yeah, it could be a mark, not a bite.
Did you see the eyes? Like,
yeah, that's the thing that I think where the replayability with this come in is because you can theme it, right around pretty much anything you want, which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
So
yeah, this is a neat little experience, and like I said, almost calling it a game is like kind of doing it a disservice because it is it's a collaborative storytelling experience.
And a quick one of that.
I mean, I don't know that I would say that I won.
No.
Yeah.
If anything, did you lose?
Yeah, exactly. Because I
made the wrong call,
else.
Right?
Yeah,
like,
I made a wrong call.
You lived, but at what cost? Do you survive now that you're alone?
Yeah.
Hard to say.
I saved
you. Survive with the guilt that you killed another innocent? Like.
Yeah. I saved you because I thought you could help me survive, and in the end, turned around and took you out.
You escape and you catch the next guy out on his own, and you just keep on killing.
Yeah. When does the cycle ever break?
It's true. Who really escaped?
So this is interesting. So where'd you find this?
This was a Drive-Thru RPG. It was created by Dan Enders back in 2016.
Oh, this is old.
Yeah. So you can order. You can go on there. It's a pay what you want. You can buy the print and play PDF version, or you can actually pay, and they will shoot you over cards through drive-through cards. Shoot them in the mail, and they're not expensive either. If you
so you can actually like legit get professionally made cards and everything, right?
They'll shoot them over. Yep.
Oh, that's awesome.
Exactly.
Cool.
Either way, I thought it was really cool. It sounded neat, and it's just a little 2-player game we could shoot together on the podcast real quick.
Yeah, this is like a game that I'm surprised I've never heard of. And
there's so many out there like that, though.
This is so cool.
That's how I felt about Quietus.
You could play this in line.
Yeah.
At Gen Con with somebody.
You could, yeah.
Because some of those lines are like longer, but even like 35 minutes to sit in one spot.
Like you said, there's no winner, but
there's
like,
no winner
are you passing the time telling a story?
But you're passing the time telling a story. Yeah. That's really cool. Mm-hmm. Like, I think that's a really nifty thing that you'd be able to like just pull this out, because this will take up like no space at all.
No,
you don't need that page for rules.
You know this, you don't need it.
Once you know this, you know this.
Yep.
So this is literally just a stack of a small handful of cards.
100%.
And you could just whip this out and play it on a floor while waiting in a line. You don't even need a lot of room to play this.
Mm-mm.
You don't even need room technically. You can just pull a card and have a stack of cards in your hand.
Exactly.
Cycle through them forward to back. Cool.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Thank you for playing with me.
Yeah, no, thank you.
And thank all of you for watching and tuning in, listening, and all the other things you do. Thank you for subscribing on YouTube and giving the 5 stars on the Apple Podcast and Spotify and all those places. Woo! I'm tired. It's been a long day, but I appreciate all of you for sticking through with us. I had a great time. Thank you, Dan Enders, for creating this game. This was a very fun time, and I really appreciated it. And we'll probably play this again. Especially with like different friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like,
I want to watch
someone play this.
Someone play this.
Right?
Like, I have people that I want to sit down and play this
thing,
game, and I want to watch them play.
Knowing like the role players in my friend group and stuff, it would be cool. I would just watch people play this.
I would love to watch people play this game.
Yep. But for now, I've been Tyler.
And I've been Richard.
And we've been True Strike. Bye.
Goodbye.
Hey, adventurers. Thanks again for joining us today. Please be sure to give us a follow on your favorite podcasting platforms and YouTube. If there's any questions you'd like right into the show, you can hit us up on X, Threads, or Instagram. New episodes released every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Thank you for listening to True Strike.